I'm Spencer Buckler, a senior at the University of South Carolina. And with Election Day less than 2 months away, we wanted to know where USC students are turning for the news and what they want to hear about. Senior Alyssa Fishman says in order to stay up to date on the news, she turns to social media. Her go-to source is CNN, but Fishman says she can find the news about anywhere, even on Snapchat. But on those platforms, the issue she cares about most is very clear.
I think the social justice movement is what's most important to me and many voters our age, because now that we know the extent of what's happening in the world, we need to fight for what we believe in and to find that peace that we can have.
She says that this movement is a long time coming, and she's happy that so many people are getting involved. For News Engagement Day 2020, I'm Spencer Buckler.
I'm Sloan O'Cone, a senior from the School of Journalism at the University of South Carolina. We're interested to learn how young voters are engaging with news media as we approach November's election. Today I met with junior Alan Stevens, studying political science and business. He gets his news information from a variety of sources, including ABC, CNN, and Fox. He is always engaged with the news, constantly receiving notifications from the news app from Apple, private entities' news apps, and tweets. But why does he use such a wide variety? A fear of bias.
It's very skewed and it's different, it's biased. Like Fox News will of course have praising the Republicans and the president, and then CNN will have very against the president. And so I just like to read them all.
After talking with Stevens, it became apparent that young voters have a general distrust of the media and will use many sources to get their information. For News Engagement Day 2020, I'm Sloan O'Cone.
I'm Trey Martin, a student at the School of Journalism at the University of South Carolina. On News Engagement Day 2020, I was interested in learning about what topics young voters wanted to hear about in the upcoming presidential election. Student Robert Kinsley said that the massive amount of social activism he saw in his social media feeds and the coverage that local reporters gave to it showed that this isn't just a national issue, it's something that hits close to home.
I would just like to see a lot more individuals in politics talk more about that and try to drive better factors that help support the social injustice that the United States faces every day.
In today's age of digital media, it's clear that what young voters see on their feeds will impact what they do at the polls. For News Engagement Day 2020, I'm Trey Martin.
Hi, my name is Kayla Smith, and I'm a senior at the University of South Carolina. We are interested in seeing how young voters are deciding their news sources and where they get their news from. Today I met up with a football player from the University of South Carolina named Devon Bowman.
I like to get everybody's opinions on things and get different points of view. So for instance, CNN is on, one main side of the stream, and then you have Fox News. I like to just get my information from everywhere so I can just not be on one side of the table.
Devon told me that he thinks that it is important that even though people look up to athletes, that it is important that these people have their own voice as well.
I mean, people shouldn't take our word for it. People shouldn't just look at us and what we say and think is the right thing to say or do. People need to gain their own information, check the news, check any and everything out there so you can establish where you stand on things in life, not just what we say.
For News Engagement Day 2020, I'm Caitlin Smith.
I'm Tom Santinello, a senior at the University of South Carolina. With Election Day getting closer and closer, we wanted to learn where young voters are getting information from. I spoke with first-time voter Leah DeFreitas, who told me that her go-to sources of news are the Associated Press and the New York Times' daily podcast. What she's looking to read about changes based on what's going on. As for what she wants to hear from the candidates, that one's easy.
I'm definitely looking to the candidate that is going to put our environment in his own priorities.
While climate change is the top issue for her this election cycle, she thinks news outlets need to do a better job covering racial justice moving forward. That way, people can understand the issue better. For News Engagement Day 2020, I'm Tom Santinello.